additional 50, which comes up to about $140 million that you're throwing around. I don't understand this, but here's all I gotta say. Don't go to the damn poker table, don't go to the blackjack table, don't go to the slot machine for crying out loud, even if it's only asking for $1. Don't do it. Stay the hell out of the casino other than your performance.
That's another piece of like what Floyd has done with his money after his fight career. Now, there is the lawsuit that Floyd is in with Showtime, and I don't think Al Heyman's a part of the lawsuit, even though he blames Al Heyman in a lot of the lawsuit for stealing his money. We're $340 million. We'll see if anything materializes out of that, or if Floyd just spends more money out of his ass.
How does he owe you the money? Why don't you just like...
Here's what happened. He pre-sold the fight using my likeness to some company in, I think, Dubai or like the Middle East. This is my understanding of it, for $10 million cash. We ended up doing the fight in the States with a different company.
Stephen A. Smith is not holding back. The outspoken sports media personality recently dropped a bombshell claiming that Floyd Mayweather, one of the highest paid athletes in boxing history, has been quietly drowning in financial chaos behind the scenes. According to Smith, the man who once flaunted stacks of cash and designer everything has allegedly mismanaged the extraordinary fortune he built over decades at the top of the sport. Smith's claims suggest that the financial pressure has grown so intense that Mayweather has been left with little choice but to lace up the gloves again. Rather than stepping back into the ring, purely out of love for the sport, sources close to the situation indicate that the comeback is being driven by something far less glamorous: the urgent need to generate fresh income and get ahead of mounting debts.
And you look at it from that standpoint and you say, wow, you're blaming them when in fact it's really, really you. Because you can't do what they do every day. Maybe you should go to them to get some lessons.
It's a spending issue, not an income.
Yes.
The drama surrounding Floyd Mayweather took another sharp turn when Logan Paul stepped forward with some serious accusations. The social media superstar turned professional boxer alleged that Mayweather pre-sold the rights to their highly publicized exhibition bout to a Dubai-based company, reportedly pocketing a cool $10 million from the deal up front. What makes Logan's claim even more explosive is his assertion that Mayweather has yet to pay him the agreed-upon percentage of that sale. In other words, Paul is saying that Floyd collected the bag and never passed along what was owed. It is the kind of accusation that, if true, paints a deeply troubling picture of how Mayweather may be handling his business relationships behind closed doors.
He sold our fight with my name and likeness to someone else in Dubai for $10 million cash. It's our fight, bro. Our deal was 15%. He fucking smoked me. So I got 15% of it. 15% of $10 million is $1.5 million. That company that paid him that money is suing him. I actually don't know the status on that lawsuit. I should check in because he still owes me money, but he has a bunch of legal trouble at the moment that I don't think I'm ever getting the money.
He just sold his house in Vegas.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I think he's
He got
facing a bunch.
rinsed on that house. He started at $14 million. He custom built the house, by the way, in like 2006.
Yeah.
Started at 14, reduced to 12,
Yeah.
10, 8 came on the market, and it was a lot of house for 8.
Yeah.
So for 6.6.
Oh, he really got
Just the
rinsed.
cost to build that house was 9 or 10.
Whoa, he got rinsed.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
It was huge.
Goddamn.
Who would win in a fight, you or 100 grams?
Probably
100
100
to me
grams.
is a lot.
100 grams.
Social media personality Wade Plemon didn't mince words when he took to X to sound the alarm on Floyd Mayweather's finances. In a post that quickly began circulating online, Plemon stated plainly that Mayweather owes a significant amount of money to a long list of people and, more critically, does not have the funds to cover it. He followed that up with an equally jarring claim that several of Floyd's commercial properties had been foreclosed on. A detail later corroborated by a Business Insider report that sent shockwaves through the entertainment and sports world. Adding fuel to the fire, podcast king Joe Rogan weighed in on the situation with his trademark unfiltered commentary. Rogan pointed out the staggering irony of it all, that Mayweather, a man who out-earned virtually every fighter who ever set foot in a boxing ring, somehow managed to arrive at bankruptcy's doorstep. According to Rogan, the culprit was a lifestyle so extravagant, so relentlessly over the top, that even 9-figure earnings could not sustain it. For Rogan, Floyd Floyd's story is a loud and uncomfortable reminder that wealth without discipline is simply a countdown to disaster.
As much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where it shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like...
Wade Plemon returned with yet another damaging revelation, this time zeroing in on one of Mayweather's most iconic symbols of wealth, his private jet. According to Plemon, Floyd was forced to sell the aircraft in order to address mounting legal debts, a move that underscores just how dire the situation may have become. The private jet was never just a mode of transportation for Mayweather. It was a statement, a carefully curated piece of his larger-than-life image. Selling it off to settle obligations paints a very different picture from the champagne-popping, money-counting persona Floyd spent years projecting to the world. Plemon's account suggests that beneath the glittering surface, Floyd is engaged in a serious and exhausting battle to manage a financial situation that has spiraled well beyond his control.
Florida from 18 to 20 mil, and he's got a place in LA that's like $25 million he's trying to sell now for like 48, which it's funny how now all of a sudden Floyd's trying to sell all of his assets. What does that tell you? He just sold his private plane as well, which I don't know what that went for, but again, he's offloading assets because he's massively in debt and owes people a lot of money. And he's trying to finance something, whether it's legal fees, whether it's other mortgages, whatever. But yeah, getting a net negative of $4 million on the house you built and then put on the market is probably the worst real estate investment you can make. Outside of maybe a strip club that no one goes to.
DJ Vlad entered the conversation with a bombshell of his own, sharing that a prominent jeweler, someone firmly embedded in the world of luxury and high-end clientele, had personally confirmed to him that Floyd Mayweather is broke. Coming from a source who moves in the same elite financial circles as Mayweather, the claim carries considerable weight. According to DJ Vlad, the root of the problem is no mystery. A lifetime of jaw-dropping, headline-grabbing purchases, from blinding jewelry collections to luxury vehicles and everything in between, gradually eroded what should have been a generational fortune. The lifestyle that made Floyd one of the most recognizable figures on the planet appears to be the very thing that has put him in this position. It is a sobering narrative that continues to resonate far beyond the boxing world.
Else gets their stuff from. And he told me, and I'm not going to say who it is, but he's like, Mayweather's broke. I said, no. He's like, no, really. Mayweather's broke. Now, I don't know if it's true.
Right.
This is what this guy told me. I'm like, how could he be broke? He's like, yo, he spends like crazy.
Yeah.
Spends like crazy.
I mean, it only could go but so long. I mean, and you're not fighting.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Mayweather even doing any goofy shit like that.
But you would think that your investments would continue to grow.
Right.
As long as you keep your spending under wraps. Like right now, like I could retire right now. This could be my last interview ever.
Right.
And with my investments, you know, I invested into a lot of great companies like Google and Amazon and Tesla over the years, and those companies have all grown and continue to grow, right? And I could actually borrow money against my stock portfolio without...
Not everyone is viewing Floyd's current situation through a lens of doom and gloom. Former welterweight champion Sean Porter offered a notably different perspective, suggesting that a potential comeback fight for Mayweather is not as far-fetched or ill-advised as some might think. Porter expressed genuine confidence in Floyd's ability to step back into competition and hold his own, arguing that the opportunity could actually work in Mayweather's favor both athletically and financially. Rather than dismissing the idea as desperate or reckless, Porter framed it as a calculated move that could pay off, and given Floyd's legendary skill set, it is not a viewpoint that is easy to argue against.
You don't want to do what we've seen Mike Tyson do against Jake Paul. You don't want to get in that ring and you having driven that car in so long that the engine runs hot, you know? So both these guys, I think they're more than anything, they're trying to show us how serious they are about doing it again against one another. So
Sean, how shocked were you when you found out that Floyd was coming back? Last time he fights is in 2017 against Conor McGregor. The guy has not fought, I said more than a decade, almost a decade, I should have said, in almost a decade. Even when you're Floyd Mayweather, that's got to be a hard thing to do, and especially when you're 49 years old.
So there's some really good pros about it. You know, he's done some exhibitions. He's shown that he still has the abilities that he's had. They're clearly not what they used to be, but they're still there. You know, and then beyond that, the fact that
Wade Plemon was far from finished. In a follow-up post that continued to gain traction, he laid out a deeply troubling financial portrait of Mayweather in stark, specific detail. He claimed Floyd suffered an $8 million loss on a Las Vegas property, a figure that Business Insider reportedly confirmed. Beyond that, Plemon pointed to a staggering $54 million in outstanding loans reportedly carrying a 9% interest rate, loans that, according to him, have gone unpaid. Another property foreclosure had allegedly just occurred, and with the private jet now reportedly gone, the picture being assembled piece by piece was nothing short of stunning. Joe Rogan circled back to the topic with the kind of blunt analysis his audience has come to expect. He broke down exactly how someone at Floyd's financial stratosphere ends up in freefall, luxury watches purchased in bulk, fleets of exotic cars, and a relentless appetite for the finest things money could buy, all sustained over years without any apparent strategy for wealth preservation. Rogan made clear that Floyd's earning power was historically unmatched in his sport, which makes the alleged collapse all the more difficult to wrap your head around. What Rogan kept coming back to, though, was the lesson buried inside the spectacle. No paycheck, not even the kinds Floyd Mayweather was cashing, is immune to mismanagement. When spending consistently outpaces income and debt piles up without a plan, even the most dazzling fortunes crumble. Floyd's story, Rogan argued, is not just boxing gossip. It is a full-blown cautionary tale about financial literacy, responsibility, and the very real consequences of living without limits.
About that. Iran Barkley, when he was in his prime, was hanging out with all these professional athletes, and everybody was getting diamond-crusted chains and this and that, and he was keeping up with these people. Like, you got to keep up with the Joneses. And he just found himself, like, draining all of his money. He was talking about it like that was the biggest detriment to him being able to save any money.
Mm-hmm. They trying to keep up.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny when I was listening to this conversation with Chad Ochocinco. He was talking about it. He was like,
his jewelry fake.
Yeah, he was wearing fake jewelry.
But who would know?
What's that?
Who would know?
No
Chad
one know.
Ochocinco.
Exactly.
It's
fake
like when
jewelry,
they look at him like
flying economy. He was sleeping at the stadium, like, so he didn't have to pay for an apartment. So smart.
Yeah.
DJ Vlad took a more analytical approach when dissecting the Mayweather money saga, expressing genuine surprise that someone who generated as much cash as Floyd did could find themselves in this position. He pointed out that even the most basic, low-effort investment strategy, something as simple as putting money into widely traded stocks, could have transformed Floyd's earnings into a self-sustaining legacy of wealth. Instead, the opposite appears to have unfolded.
Assume that Mayweather was in a similar spot because he made so much cash, and if you invested even in common stocks, you should do pretty well. But, I mean, listen, Mayweather never flies commercial. He's only flying private.
So he doesn't own his own plane?
I don't think so. I've never seen a Mayweather plane, like a Drake plane. I've never seen that. Not to say that he doesn't. I don't know Mayweather like that. I've never even met him. So, I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of properties. You have a lot of money you're constantly spending.
Right.
I don't know. Remember at one point he said he was buying like the jewelry district building.
Yeah, and they said that wasn't true.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know this man's finances, but this guy told me that Mayweather is in financial problems.
See, here's the shitty part about actually losing your money when you're on that level and you're, kind of like flossing, showing off. Nobody gives a shit.